I mean, a big conversation as far as our kids taking over the farm for Tyler and I has been inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do not believe in splitting it 50-50, and my kids will know from day one the farm will not be split 50-50.
So, Brady, I have a question for you. What's it like when the corn is high, but the chaos is higher?
It's a lot of things, but it's never boring. This is the Farm Wife Files, life between the rows.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Or morning.
Or night.
Yeah. We're really bad at that.
I know, I need to stop telling everybody to have a good time at a time of day. Specific time of day.
We just expect you to listen to it at a certain time of
Same
the day.
time that we're recording it, yeah. So, just being postpartum over here and having a whole brand new human has just got my brain kind of circling about if I'm raising my children right, or if I'm going to continue to raise them right, or what I want their futures to look like, and all of the things. It was kind of crazy. They have a trend going on TikTok where you type into ChatGPT and ask what your kids will look like as a toddler, as a kid, and as a teenager. So I put 3 newborn pictures of Branson. It is insane. Like, I don't know if that's what he'll actually look like, but literally the perfect mix of Tyler and I.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. But then it just makes me think, like, I wonder what he'll be doing, what his personality looks like. Like, Taylin's old enough now that you can kind of see her personality. Mm-hmm. And Branson is just, like, a blob right now.
A blob.
Well, he is.
He's a sack of potatoes.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just there. So
I have a feeling that Branson is going to be your headache child.
You think?
I
Taylin's
think
kind
so.
of my headache child.
Right now, because
Yeah.
he's a sack of potatoes.
Right.
But I think that he's going to give you a run for your money.
Yeah, I mean, everybody gave us such a hard time when we got pregnant with the second because they're like, your first was so good. Like, just, good luck. This one's going to be rough. And he's been such a great newborn.
Yeah, he has been.
But I've been telling everybody, I'm like, yeah, God gives us great newborns, and then we pay for it when they're toddlers. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. When it comes back to the farm, I always had the outlook, like, if Taylin wants to farm, she'll have that opportunity. And I don't want to, like, seem sexist or anything, or, like, I'm of older generation. Because, truly, if she wants to farm, like, get it, girl. Like, I will support you 110%, just like I would your brother. But it feels different with a boy.
Like, does it feel different because you feel like it's an expectation?
Yeah. Even though I think we've talked about this talking about our husbands, even though I don't expect him to come back and farm. Mm-hmm. I don't expect him to take it over at all. But I think society and coming from a generational family farm, it's there. It just is. I mean, he'll be what? He'll be
6.
Will he be 6th generation?
I think Tyler's 5.
No, he would be 5th.
Branson would be 5th.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's just something so sentimental to that. But then also, coming up with having a little boy is, we recently just bought some farm ground. So that looks a lot different than renting it.
Right. I mean, you have, like, an actual tangible, which is
not that
really tangible, but tangible.
Yeah, and not that renting ground isn't just as important, but it's like the longevity of that looks different.
Yeah.
Having ground that we own, well, that the bank owns.
For right now.
Yeah, for right now, is something that, if everything stays good, that stays in our family and in our name for, the foreseeable future, which gives something for our kids to farm. So, yeah, that just looks different. It hits a little bit different, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It also makes me think, as much as I love this life, do I want an easier life for my children?
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Obviously, it's, like, I don't have kids, right? Mm-hmm. But I think I grew up in a very, like, you're going to do whatever and we're going to support you, kind of how you said. Like,
right.
If Taylin wants to farm, go get it, girl. Like,
mm-hmm.
Whatever. I did not grow up in a farming community, so I don't, I can't say I understand, like, what it meant to be growing up as a 5-year-old with the farming operation. Like, but I can say I grew up knowing that both my parents were traveling for work a large majority of their time. So, like, I know it's not comparable, but, like, Dad's out in the field where my dad was on a plane somewhere across the nation.
Right, yeah.
Like, they were still outside of the home, and, you know, and not that my mom was a single parent by all means, but, like, you know, like, you still had that
similar.
one type of situation where I think I was kind of raised by both my parents where it could have been very much, you can do whatever you want to do and we're always going to support you in whatever you choose as long as it's legal and safe. And,
Right.
Like, and we're not going to support
and good
you
for you.
Yeah, we're not going to support you, like, dealing drugs or anything. But, so I think when it comes to my kids, I kind of had that similar mindset of, like, if you want to farm, great, you can farm. I also feel like I kind of have a unique perspective because Cody right now, he could completely work on the farm full time. Is it something that we want to pursue in the future? Yes. Do we want to pursue it right now? No,
Right.
because of, like, you know, the extra quote unquote income, like, by working full time elsewhere is a positive at this point in our life.
Well, and not to interrupt you, but I do
Yeah.
want to preface this for the listeners because I don't want them to think, oh, she's so BSing about what her husband wants because she's talking to the person who her husband works with. And Addie and I and Cody and Tyler are close enough that they know, and I hope that you guys know this, like, their happiness comes before our farm.
And we have had, like, this open and honest conversation
Yeah.
of, like, there will be a time that Cody will no longer work for you.
And we know that that's the end goal for Cody and Addie. So if that's to come in 10 years or in 2 days, like, regardless of the timing, we are stoked for them.
And I think it comes down to, like, Cody we would be completely fine if Cody completely quit, you know, working full time for you guys. Financially, we would be fine. But at the same time, there's not really a need for him to do that when we don't have kids at home.
Yeah.
Getting off on a tangent, but so when it comes down to, like, kids farming, I can't say yes or no because I wasn't raised on a farm as a kid. I was raised by a 9-to-5 household that traveled a lot. I mean, they were executives, and both my parents were executives or, you know, vice presidents or whatever title they would hold throughout my childhood. So there's similarities, but there's differences at the same time. I have learned early in my career that the corporate ladder isn't always fun and glamorous. So maybe a 9-to-5 isn't.
Yeah.
Especially if they have my sort of work ethic. Like, it's always like...
Never enough.
Yes. Yeah. Like, this was a promotion. It's so good for me. Like, and really I'm, like, miserable inside because I didn't realize, like, how much. And not saying that I felt any of the... But, like, you know, looking back. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think...
Well, and I think, too, like, just going, like, hearing about your childhood, you know, I was raised in, like, the shadow of the farm because my dad wasn't the one that took his family's farm over. It was his older brother. So, my parents also, you know, had 9-to-5, so I saw, like, the glamorous side of farming. You know, I got to go help Papa feed baby calves when they needed a bottle. I got to be picked up and go feed cows and then go get coffee with the old hot chocolate I would get with the, you know, elders at the coffee shop, or, you know, riding in the combine, you know, the very fun, glamorous.
The things that people think actually truly happen on the farm.
Yes, exactly. And so that's kind of what sparked my, I want to marry a farmer. I want to be in a farming family, yada, yada, yada. Which I did that, and I do love it with all my heart. Wouldn't change it for the world, but... yeah, it's hard. I mean, as a spouse, and I think for each of my children, having a boy and a girl, it looks a lot different. As bad as I want to see Taylin break the societal norm and be a farmer herself, I know if she decides that she wants to be a wife and a mom, her role is going to have to look different. Yeah. She'll still be able to farm, but, you know, if you're going to, you know, have kids and put them in daycare or whatever, you can still do that, but it's just, like, going back to, like, God made men and women different, like, it just is going to be different for her, whereas Branson's going to be the sole provider and solely the one working with his hands and doing the physical labor every single day, being the man.
Yeah.
So I think for both kids, it's like, I don't know. It's just it's a different view for each of them.
Yeah, and I think because I don't have, like, it's this, like, wild idea thought, like, you know, Cody and I will have children someday. But
Yeah, but you
know,
can
like,
visualize that and what you would want for them.
I just don't have those, like, that true emotional connection to it. So, like,
Right.
when I think, like, oh, my kid is going to be farming, great, love that. But I'm like, what is farming going to look like? Are they going to be
I
on a
know.
tractor, or is
Yeah,
it going to be
exactly.
a tractor driving itself, and it's
Yeah.
going to still do it 24/7 throughout, you know?
Right.
And all you do is control it from your phone. That's a different type of farming.
Yeah.
Like,
And see, when I think about it for Taylin, I think of her eventually getting married and having kids and feeling the loneliness and the resentment towards the farm.
yeah.
Even though she may love it like I do and she may be way more hands-on than I am, it's still just like the loneliness of it taking your spouse, but also the great pride and love that you share for it. Like, it's so push and pull. So, like, having those feelings in myself and knowing that she'll feel those too is very, like, positive and negative thoughts. And then, I mean, same for Branson, just like, you know, having Tyler and knowing the daily struggles or the seasonal struggles that he has with farming, but then also the great highs that come with it.
Yeah. And I think you and Tyler strategically have talked about, like, how you would want to raise children and how, like, in previous episodes, we've talked about just, like, how societal norms have changed, like, from our grandparents raising kids to our parents raising kids to now, like, our generation raising kids. But, I mean, just also, you and Tyler have had very intentional, intellectual, like, emotional conversations of, like,
Yeah.
this is how I was raised, or this is how I saw happen, or XYZ. I don't want this for our kids, and I really want to be strategic and intentional of not, you know,
Yeah.
having that. And I think that has, like, helped with you and Tyler. And obviously I'm an outsider looking in, but I do think that having that sort of conversation before you guys even have kids, or like, even when you have kids and there's just needs to be a turning point.
Right.
You saying, Tyler, I really need you to be present. I understand that, you know, maybe I didn't have a dad that was present, or you didn't have a dad, or you didn't have, like, not saying you didn't have these things,
Yeah.
but, like, you know, the farm always took priority. Not saying that the farm is not a priority, but I really need you to be intentional with how you're spending time with Taylin or something like that. So I think those conversations are healthy when, you know, having those, because I think that also is going to stem what the child wants.
Well, and I think, I mean, a big conversation as far as our kids taking over the farm for Tyler and I has been inheritance. Because I do not believe in splitting it 50-50, and my kids will know from day one the farm will not be split 50-50. Not even the farm. Our inheritance will not be split 50-50.
Right.
I mean, regardless if we have anything by the end of our time. I hope we have something for him, but
Right.
no, I have said that from day one. In the beginning, he didn't understand that. You know, like, you have two kids, you split it 50-50, and I'm like, no. Nope, I won't. And that comes from someone as a dad who, or having a dad who, you know, he's a third. There's 3 of them. But I don't believe he should get a third
Of the farm.
I just don't. It's different. I've watched Tyler. You have so much blood, sweat, and tears into the farm.
I also agree that the 50-50, 33%, 33%, whatever that looks like, I'm also a big advocate for, because, I mean, like, from a wife watching their husband.
Yes, it's different.
Like, and not only that, but, like, I feel like some sort, and I know, I'm going to use Cody, for example. Like, I know I have nothing to do with the farm when it comes to, like, when the time that comes that the farm would need to be split up.
Right.
Like, it's not Addie gets 50%, it's
Right.
Cody. And
Yes.
so, like, I understand that, but I have some sort of emotional connection to that, because I have seen Cody
You've watched your husband
pump in money,
Yes.
like financial contributions to this
and
farm.
labor and his mental well-being
And then, let alone our marriage.
Yes.
And so,
the
like,
things we as wives have given up so that the farm can progress.
right. And then I sit back and I'm like, what has XYZ person done?
Exactly.
And so I've told Cody, like, when it comes down to, you know, writing our will, like right now, it goes to it's written in a way that, like, it goes to the next person
Your
in
next
line.
of kin or
Right,
whatever.
right. And so, but like when it comes down to the kids, you know, if they're under the age of 18, well, 19, technically, probably in the state of Nebraska, and we haven't got to this because we don't have kids, but, you know, like, it won't go directly to them. We're going to make sure that they're set up for success, whatever. But, you know, if it would come down where it needs to be split, I told Cody, I was just like, you know, the farm will go to the person that the farm wants to go to. There's other assets that you can totally give your other children.
And that's why I said, you know, what we have at the end, our inheritance, and not just the farm.
Right.
Because, I mean, and I don't want anybody listening being like, oh, she's biased, she comes from a farming family. Yes, I do come from a farming family. My dad wasn't he wasn't the son that took it over. You know, I watched my uncle, you know, start to take it over and farm it. And now, I mean, my dad and I have had the conversations of, no, I don't think you're entitled to your third. I just don't, because now I have a husband who I've watched, you know, put so much work and love and time, and I have gone without, and my children have gone without, so that the farm can have him. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, I know my uncle's doing the same thing. While you have gotten to have a 9-to-5 job or a business of your own and make that kind of money, while, you know, he has put money into the farm.
Right.
I just don't think it in my eyes, and I get life's not fair, but it is not fair.
No. I struggle with it a lot, just because I know, like, again, we see it day to day, what it not eats at, because that's a very toxic, like, negative connotation.
Yeah.
But, like, my paycheck is going to this family farm that I'm going to have to then, you know, years down the road.
They call it something.
Like, I just don't understand that, but...
Sweat equity.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, Cody and Tyler are, you know, working their butts off and putting their blood, sweat, and tears into the farm. They should be able to get that out. Mm-hmm. Whereas siblings who leave the farm and go have a job or a business or a 9-to-5 or whatever occupation away from the farm, they're making all that money and getting to save money, getting to build assets of their own. Yep. Why does Tyler have to split something, or Cody have to split some, or any other kid who's inheriting, or who's, you know, who has decided to follow up and farm, have to split what that is their career? It's the same thing as going out and leaving the farm, so why should they have to split it?
Right. Yeah.
I just do not understand that. I've never understood that. No. But anyway, we're back to our kids, and, you know, how, if they're going to take over the farm or not. That is one of the biggest conversations Tyler and I have had about, we won't be splitting it. But they'll know that. It's not something I'm going to keep a secret. If you want to farm, come farm. Have at it. I hope both of them want to.
Don't base your decision based off of that.
No.
Like, truly follow what you want to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not, again, going back, like, you're not saying that you're not going to get anything if you don't want to farm. Like, we're cutting you off from the family.
No, I'm just talking the farm will not be split 50-50.
Yeah. I think, so especially in this type of area that we live in, a lot of times the farm, like, connotation, or just... then it's your last name. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not this magical, like, oh, I farm. Like, it's like, oh, I have this last name. Oh, don't trust them because they have this last name, or they do everything backwards, or oh, this is they're just rich and daddy pays for everything. Like, do you see that in our community, our area of Nebraska right now?
That's hard for me because I didn't grow up here.
Right. Yeah, same.
So that would be a question for Tyler and Cody, because I haven't been here long enough, I guess, to... I know when people meet me and they hear that, you know, my name's Brady Heidemann, that it has a good... I mean, people are... Oh, well, do you know Robert and Nancy Heidemann? They live on the highway. And, I mean, it's always stemmed like it's good. Like, nobody ever hears my name, and they're like, oh.
Run away.
Yeah, literally. So, I don't know. I mean, that's... I just don't feel like I've been here long enough to like have an accurate depiction of how people
your own accurate depiction, I would say, because there's so
Yeah.
many times where Cody's like, oh, this, and I always joke with Cody because I'm like, thank God you did not marry anyone in this area,
Yeah.
because I always tell Cody, I'm like, everyone down here is related. It's someone down the line is related so and so. Like, it's just, it's crazy. I mean, anyway, so that's why I'm like, I hear like Cody say like this person's last name, but he tells me this bias of, oh, so and so, and you know, his great 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 grandfather had this and did something, so we don't like him. And it's just like, oh my gosh, that was
I
what,
know.
200 years ago. Get
Yeah.
over it. Like, it's just, it's kind of wild to me. But yeah, no, I always think that's kind of funny, just like in farming in general, because it's always like, hide them in farms. And is that a good or a bad thing?
Right.
But yeah.
I think, where was I going with that thought? Oh gosh, I totally just lost my train of thought. But no, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on the person and like their personality, because you have people that are just like, they're just like born and they're more negative.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have other people who are just like kind, positive, just like radiant, like joy. I mean, it's just, I don't know. So I feel like the difference between people as far as like last names and what they think of you is, like you said, the depiction goes from person to person.
Right. Kind of still on topic, but off topic. So you said that, you know, you want your kids to do, like when they decide to choose a career and kind of go down that avenue, you want them to do whatever is best for them. You're still going to raise them on the farm. So let's say, you know, there's a need to go out to the field and they need to, you know, we need to go pick up this seed tender or whatever the case is. And are you going to raise your kids of like, this is an expectation that you will go do this, and like you need to still go help out on the farm because this is our family farm, this is our income? Or are you going to be like, you don't want to go do chores? Okay, you don't have to. I'll, you know, sister will go do it. Like, how do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine line, because I want to instill a work ethic and a kind of like there's not an option when it comes to things that we have to do sometimes, because there's a lot of people that I know in my life that totally treat things that I would not think are a, like, gosh, how do I word this? Like, there's things in my life that are just not an option that other people are like, oh yeah, I don't have to. Or like there's some people who just like decide not to go to work because they don't want to go to work. You know what I mean? Like, they just need the day off, and I've just never been that type of person. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, like, gray lines for me there.
I think...
So I want them to, like, have that work ethic and be like, oh, I don't feel like going and doing chores that I'm not going to. Like, you know, if we have animals, oh, I don't feel like, I don't want to go out and feed. Like, that's not an option. Like,
Animals still need to get fed.
yes, they're sitting in a pen. They can't do it themselves. Like, this is not an option. So that kind of thing, like, I want to instill that, like, hard work and that just, like the want, or like the like, it's not an option for me not to do it. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a sense of accountability.
Yeah, I was going to say autonomy, but I don't know if that... But yeah, so I think...
But then also still wanting to not, like, burn them out and give them that love and pride for the farm.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, like, there's a difference between balancing that farm kid work ethic, or just work ethic in general, farm related or not, and then balancing that with, like, still a family first type mentality. Like, that's tough.
Yes.
And I mean,
well, I think with ages, it's just so different.
Yes.
Like, right now, Taylon's at an age where I don't think she quite resented harvest this year, but next year will be interesting. Well, I mean,
this upcoming harvest
season will be interesting, because I'm able to make it fun and we get to go ride and see Dad, but she wasn't quite old enough to comprehend time yet.
Well, and baby brother wasn't here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this season this upcoming season will be interesting because I want her to want to be out there.
Right.
And same with Branson. I want them to look forward to getting to do it, but I also do want them to understand the sacrifice. There's plenty of times where I don't think the farm has necessarily needed Tyler's attention at that given time or that longevity of time, but Tyler prioritizes it anyway, which is another conversation for our marriage. But I still, for my kids, try to, I'm not, your dad's working at the farm. Right. Dad's farming, Daddy's not here. Daddy chose not to be here. Like, I never word things that way because, I don't want to word it because I'm disappointed and upset in a way that my kids will remember, and then that's just what they think. I want them to know Dad's working because this is our way of life. Like, Dad, the farm needs Dad right now so that we can have nice things. Dad is sacrificing right now so that, you can have that coat on your back, or we can have these toys that we're playing with, or, regardless.
So how do you, obviously both of the kids don't comprehend, all of that, but like, how do you plan on having those conversations or handling those feelings, those thoughts or whatever, to like teach them that there shouldn't be a resentment? Like, it's okay to have those feelings. Yeah. It's okay. It's normal to have a resentment towards Dad because he's quote unquote choosing the farm over our family by missing these big moments. But like, how do you plan on having those? Have you thought about it?
I hope the farm just does it without me having to say anything, because I know the feeling, like the day we get done cutting.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It is. If you're not a farmer, you're not a farmer's wife, you don't know that feeling. There is just or like the day you wrap up planting and rain's coming in, or just something. I mean, it is just when you finalize like something like that, it's just a good feeling. I mean, and then I'm sure calves are different. Just seeing like actual seeing a corn stalk come up and actually have an ear on it's one thing, but seeing an actual live animal after you've reaped and sowed so much into them, it's just such a rewarding feeling. And so I hope my kids get that from the farm, and so I don't have to say anything. I hope they get that love and that pride and just the gratitude of we get to live this life.
They value the farm.
That they do. And so, it's not like because even as wives, we know that, there's hard times, but we also know that the good times are coming, that these hard times they're not long lasting. The seasons come and go, and we know that, and the older we get, the faster they go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as kids, thinking when I was young, time just feels like it's so slow, especially when you're in school. It feels like time just drags. But then as you get older, it just flies. So, I just hope they, maybe there's like a combine ride with Dad and they're listening to their favorite music or whatever. Like, they just get these joyous times that they just feel such love and pride for the farm.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think, so I'm going to, there's a lot of things going through my mind right now, but, at the end of the day, so you say that you bring out Taylin to go ride on this tractor with Dad, like there's that stuff. There's a lot of emotions that happen with farming.
Good and bad.
Yeah, I was going to say lots of tears that happen with farming, but I think especially at this age, not Branson, but Taylin specifically, because she'll be turning 3 in October. I mean, so couple months, obviously, but not couple. Quite a bit of months.
Yeah.
But, starting to instill like those fun activities, I feel like would probably be a good stepping stone for her to really, the farm doesn't always have to be this Dad's leaving and I'm going to have this complete meltdown because Dad's leaving me and, all of this stuff. It's like, okay, Dad's leaving me, but I'm going to go visit him.
Right.
And I'm going to go, I get one-on-one time with Dad, riding
a tractor.
Think
for her to get older and be able to recognize that other kids, that dads that have 9-to-5s, they don't get to go visit Dad or go play in the shop with Dad.
Right. It's not this magical, it doesn't have to be this magical, there's a dirt pile.
Right.
sure, there's those positive dirt piles that
Yeah.
turn into mud and us.
Or the
like,
corn spills that the guys get upset about, but the kids love.
Yeah. Like, it's just that type of stuff that it's like, give ourselves some grace of like trying to navigate that whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that would just be tough. And I would hope that for anyone that it just is a natural occurring thing. But
Well, and honestly, I think too, just like the legacy in itself of like getting to carry that on. And I mean, Renee, Tyler's mom, the other day brought over a book that Tyler made in preschool. And so he was 4 or 5.
right.
And it said, "What do I want to be when I grow up?" And he wrote farmer. I mean, to be that young.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know that he ever, I mean, I've asked him and he never has said that he really wanted to be anything else. So, I mean, just to think, even at 4 years old, there was enough like love and passion for the farm and what his dad did and what his family did that he wanted to do that.
Right.
I mean, because, yeah, Taylin's going to be 3. So to think about her at that age, to just know, like, just have that joyous feeling of the farm. It's just something special. Like,
Yeah.
And if you do it, then you get it. And if you don't, then you don't. Like,
Well, I mean, it could go, like, even if you would ask me when I was 4 years old, I couldn't tell you what I said.
Yeah.
I was 4 years old. But I'm sure there's something stowed away in some sort of box.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it really does. It's wild to really think about. You have to instill enough positivity in these children's lives to be able to want to do that.
Yes.
Even though as wives, we might see it as a negative thing, like, oh, dad's leaving. But we're old enough and we're wise enough to understand, like, yes, he's leaving, but there's always an outcome and that it's positive for him to leave. Children don't have that
Right.
mindset. So it is kind of nice to know, like, when Tyler was 4 years old and he wrote that, he did see dad leave all the time and all that stuff, but he still saw
wanted to do
some
that.
sort of positive outcome,
Yeah.
which kind of like validates everything. Like,
Right.
okay, maybe you leaving, I shouldn't be on your, Tyler, I shouldn't be on your case all the time about working all these long hours because maybe it will work out,
Yeah.
and we won't know that until Taylin and Branson get older, but yeah, I mean, it's a wild time.
It is. Yeah, it's just, it'll be fun to see, who they become, especially as Branson gets older and Taylin gets older and just their little personalities. And yeah, we'll see who they become, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully what we're doing is right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you feel like there are any, and I'm going to use the word traditions. I don't know if traditions is the right word, but do you feel like there's any traditions that you would want to break or for your children? So, like, for example, one thing that I know that I will not want to instill in my children is working. Like, you need to be doing something to be worthy, or you need to be doing something to feel like you were productive.
Yeah.
Outwardly, like, do you feel like you're going to break any of those stigmas, traditions, whatever the word is?
Well, I really relate to what you said because, I mean, I feel like it gets better through each generation, but Tyler struggles with that. Like, just, like, sitting and watching a movie or, like, having an off day or, like, a down day or... I mean, I think I was, like, 3 days postpartum when we were back home, and he's like, I just gotta go do something. I can't sit around here. And I'm like, you're watching your toddler because I literally have a brand new baby and we're trying to figure all this out. Like, it's fine. I'm like, you're not going to combust if you don't leave. Like,
right.
The farm, it's literally January. Like,
and if you
there's
leave,
nothing going on.
Great. You're taking the toddler with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you want to chase around the house or around the shop that's not baby proofed?
Yeah.
Have at it. Yeah, and just I don't know. Traditions is hard because I don't know that there's really any, like, as, like quote-unquote farm traditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I didn't know, like, what word to...
Yeah, I don't know. I like what my husband's doing. I think he's doing a really good job. I think the progressiveness of our farm is on point. I think whatever he's doing, our kids should continue to do. And I'm sure our kids will have these really innovative, great, grand, wonderful ideas that Tyler has and his dad thinks is a little bit much, that our kids will have and Tyler thinks it's a bit much.
Yep.
So, Yeah. I
Again,
don't
are they going to be driving tractors in 2050
know.
or
I
are they
highly
going?
doubt it.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it.
Which, I mean,
just this year we had an autonomous tractor
yeah,
on our
yeah,
fields.
that was cool.
Yeah, so give us another, 15 years?
I was going to say they need to cheapen up a little bit.
Yeah.
They're so expensive. But yeah, I think that just comes down to, I'm excited to see your children grow, obviously. I'm excited to see just what
I'm
farming...
excited to just see your children one day.
Yeah.
I said one day.
Out there.
Yeah, I said one day.
One day. Yeah, no, I think it's just, it's a fun thing to think about and just to, like, be like, oh.
Yeah, to imagine.
Yeah,
dream about.
like, I'm actually not going to be 27 the rest of my life, and I'm going to be an 80-year-old woman one day, and I'm going to be,
There's been multiple times I've caught myself, like, I'm driving out to the field, and I literally just catch myself in this epiphany where, like, Taylon's walking out to the combine, and I'm like, I'm living it. Today was freaking hard, and, like, there was multiple times I thought I was going to totally crash out. Like, I'm living it. I used to lay in bed and, like, just dream and pray about this.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Again, like, I haven't seen little mini Cody running out, like, and that's probably a good thing that I haven't seen that right now, but, like, just the thought of, like, you never know when it's going to be your last time. Like, I know that you can, like, relate to that. Like, you never really know when the last time that you're going to rock your kid to sleep.
Yeah.
It just naturally happens, and then the next night they don't need it, and then the following night they don't need it. Like,
or picking them up.
Yeah.
I saw that one on, like, Facebook. Crush my heart.
Yeah. Well, like, you just never know. Like, you never know when the last time you and your husband are gonna, like, be able to
kiss goodbye or just,
and or just, like, or simply watch a movie, like you said, and eat popcorn. Like, there's gonna be one day that you don't realize that you have, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And, like, it could just
Life
be
is
with
so
age.
fleeting. And
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. But I think at the end of the day, like, I will support my children, whatever that looks like, in whatever they want to do.
100%. If they want to have a big old retirement sale and take their buku bucks and go to Mexico for a month, have at it.
I told Cody, I'm like, if you die...
Tyler really doesn't care. Which kind of blows my mind because he's doing a lot of hard work to really not care. But
Cody says that he will haunt me if he dies, and
you
sell the farm.
Yeah,
which I only say that when I, like, really want to get him wound up.
Oh, I have a total other, like, it goes with this topic, but we're at 37 minutes, so we have got to dial it in or do a part 2 because I have a whole other thought on that, but.
And at the end of the day, support your children, or we will support, any children's wants, wishes, all of that stuff. Yeah. The farm will not be split 50-50 unless they both want to farm and they both have active roles in the farm.
Yeah.
I mean, pending you only have 2 kids. But, like, no.
Yeah.
I get it. Support it.
As long as they're happy, that's all we care about.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay. Until next time.
See you next week.
They say a farmer's work is never done. Well, neither is ours.
Come back next week for a new episode of Life Between the Rows.